Look at that. That's all fiction. Except those dictionaries. We've still got a few books taken out of this second to last shelf here. Of books for younger readers. Chapter books for younger readers. I've looked at all these. I will say this, if you watch this channel as a sort of parasocial thing in any way, which I don't know, I guess I do that with YouTube channels, this section has brought with it a lore dump because there's so many childhood favorites here. And then books that I read my kids, so it's like two personal generations of feeling attached to these books and history. So, without further ado, Prismo presents, brought to you by Squirrel, some various large-sized chapter books for younger readers. The last of the penultimate shelf. Books for younger readers. Squirrel, where are you? So this is interesting. This is a Dana Girls Mystery Stories. The Winking Ruby Mystery. I got this in part for its appearance and cover, and also because I thought one of my kids might read it. I thought my daughter Sonora might like to display it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty classic. The Dana Girls. I dabbled in all of those series as a kid. I read Hardy Boys sometimes, Nancy Drew. Three Investigators are my favorite. I read some Bobbsey Twins, all the Enid Blyton stuff I could find. Oh, here's one Nancy Drew. This is the only Nancy Drew in the kids' collection. Again, another one I've kept around just thinking, like, maybe one of my kids will read it or get into this character. Classic. I think Carolyn Keene was a pseudonym for many writers. Same author. Check it out, an Edward Gorey cover, almost a wraparound cover, partial wraparound, nice. Love Edward Gorey's style. By Joan Aiken, The Wolves of Willoughby Chase. I remember this book being effectively atmospheric. I can remember it. This was a book that was much more common in my youth. One that haunted 1980s elementary libraries. This one felt special just for me. I found this at the American International School Library in second grade in Vienna, Austria. And I was like, what's this? The cover looks so cool. Like mounds and mounds, dunes of these little metal objects fall all over planet Earth. And people are just like, I guess we get rid of them. It's just a weird cosmic phenomenon. This kid discovers that they're a collective entity of sorts, traveling through the stars, fleeing something, I think. And he can communicate with them telepathically. And there's so much potential in this idea. This could be adapted into an incredible movie. But I loved this book as a kid, and it felt like my special book that nobody else knew about. And it felt more like genre than maybe what I was reading generally. Just so sci-fi, even though it is for younger readers, I suppose. I tracked this copy down via eBay online just because I really wanted to have this book from my childhood, from a distant memory. Story of an invasion from outer space. That's a pretty cool design, too. It's the only illustration in the whole book. And that. In the past, I've displayed this a little, like had it on a little stand. It's just a really cool looking book. It's 1970s, but it is very much the stuff of my childhood. Houseguard says memory is a muscle that can be exercised and strengthened. That seems to be true. Because once you start uncovering the little details of your past, like if you're writing a memoir and you want to get things right, or you want details to be plentiful and accurate, it's amazing what you start uncovering. Little pockets of previously neglected neurons. Oh yeah. And it's a crazy feeling when an old memory comes flooding back. Books are one thing that can definitely enable that. Dead Boy. Now, this looks kind of... I mean, it's an ARC. It looks modern. It's not that famous. But my oldest daughter loved this book, and she quickly made it part of like her official canon of books she really thought were great. It's about someone with a zombie friend. I'm like, hey, that's cool. That's how I was as a kid. I would just find these, I wouldn't say random books, but just, out of the ordinary. Trillions, I guess, for me. But yeah, we keep this because Anna really loved it. I asked her during the purge of books, do you want to keep this? Yes, you gotta keep Dead Boy. Leonardo da Vinci. This was one of the books that I had, so that I read when I knew I was going to go see this exhibition of Da Vinci's notebooks in New York at the MoMA. And so for just all the months up till this flight and this planned exhibition that I knew would be there, I just read anything I could get my hands on about Leonardo da Vinci, which was a few books in the collection, and some of them were these books for all ages or younger readers. So I remember this one fondly, clearly written. I mean, he's such a compelling figure, and a defense of his life is a defense of so many great things, like just love of knowledge and possibility, imagination, varied abilities. There's a great picture book in the kids' picture book collection, which I guess I'll be looking at soon. A few videos from now. Just one shelf in the utility closet. Picture books. Anyway, it was so cool doing that and then going to see that museum exhibit, because it made everything in that exhibit so exciting. I was like, this is the notebook from that teacher, because I had all this obscure knowledge from the olden times, details of his life and influences and stuff. It was, what a great figure. I'm fascinated by the life of Leonardo da Vinci. I feel like he's like a patron saint for all creative people in the world, for all seekers of truth and knowledge and beauty and art, He's like Van Gogh in that way. But he's like hyper able Van Gogh, hyper competent. Like, he just made so much, did so much, thought of so much. People later put together his design for a helicopter and they're like, it works. Here's a beautiful old copy of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. I thought about keeping this in the general sci-fi section. Honestly, what do y'all think? Books for younger readers or the general sci-fi section? I've got H.G. Wells and Jules Verne in Sci-Fi Now in the paperback form. Require a bit of finesse to put another book here. Shelf max into the max. Alright, I think you're gonna have a new home here, little book. But I'll miss my friends. Your friends are all gonna be burned or given away. You'll never see them again anyway. I'm gonna go live with these freaks in the sci-fi section. Also just occurred to me I could put this 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with my Everett Ruiz books. I think that would be kind of cool thematically. Everett Ruiz used Nemo, as in Captain Nemo, as his final nom de plume, carving it in places all over the Colorado Plateau before vanishing in 1934. Okay, that looks awesome. Love it. If you know, you know. It's one of those things. Everett. If you read his letters, especially the ones collected in this book here, you really get a sense of this person. And if you go to the places that he loved, you really feel a connection of sorts. It felt like, in a really wild way, like just kind of what Everett Ruiz was like from being in those places, and reading his writing there. There's Kitty. So, why am I talking about these books? What's the point of this channel? What was the description for the channel page? What does it say again? Something like, examining the world of literature through one person's book collection and reading life. That is an accurate description. So I guess I'm saying, here's what kind of stuff is out there, and what I'm influenced by and what's available to me and what's in the world. I do think this channel is also kind of something of a frustrated meditation on materialism and possessions and things also, but also on the keeping of knowledge as like kind of a sacred and ancient trust, going back at least to the Library of Alexandria. I just read the Canterbury Tales, and that's from the 1300s, and Chaucer boasted about having a 68-volume library, which was a very big library at the time. That's pre-printing press, baby. I think I have, 3,000 or 4,000, a few thousand. I know it's about a third of what the previous collection was, which I estimated at 11,000. But I suppose it could be closer to half, because as I go through this collection, and now I've made like 300 and some videos, like 330 or 40 videos. And I'm still not done talking about what even the books in the collection are. And the central goal of reading the whole literary fiction paperback case is still years from completion. The secondary goal of making these videos as often as possible, daily ideally, pushing past natural stopping points and seeing what lies on the other side. Secret of Shadow Ranch. It's a good title, actually. So good. I should adapt that into a movie. If I ever get a chance to do a movie with a budget and CGI effects and stuff, real candidate. Bet I could get the rights to. Honestly, I would ditch a lot of the key storyline within it and steal the general idea. Sorry. It kind of gets bogged down. It kind of does that story thing I hate where like Batman gets stuck in a hole. Wait, how long is he going to be in this hole? You know, all these characters stuck in an office with a crazy general who takes over the plot personality-wise. I'm like, you've got metal rain from an alien world. You can connect telepathically. Lead with that, you know. So, all right, just one shelf left of looking at the books for younger readers. And that's another case down. Then we've only got the picture book shelf, and we'll have looked at all the hallway books. Well, that's exciting. My friend Lisa told me she'll put on this channel and do knitting. And I was shocked. That's amazing. What does anyone get out of this channel? Sorry, Lisa, that this channel is what it is. Hey, oh, because I took 20,000 leagues into this. Yeah, they fit so nicely now. With the paperbacks up in a stack like that, and there's room for one or two more. That's so good. All right, now just this shelf. I've only looked at the E.B. White of this shelf. These are what they call handsome volumes in the biz. Look at that, that's just so extra. Call of the Wild. It's like beautiful. Illustrated Junior Library Edition. You know, people just make beautiful things in the world. Books included. Dang. Now I'm like, I want to read Call of the Wild. But, let's hold on for a minute. I need to go to the laundromat. Yeah. Well, it is. Books are like a monolith rising above the young reader. So that's appropriate for this case. Books will sharpen you, just as it does the proto-humans in Stanley Kubrick's epic film. With that sharpness can come more awareness and new cruelties. But you gotta do it. It's the freaking fruit of knowledge of good and evil. It's delicious. What, you're gonna not eat it? Oh yeah. Yeah. Then you'll be cursed to wander the land with all you know. And what you've seen. Maybe that's a worthwhile trade-off. Remember one video ago when I looked at the paperback books from this shelf? Those were good times. Oh, here's a flashback. That's like 3 or 4 videos ago. Crazy. Well, we've had some times. I mean, we could memory lane it all the way back here, you know. I mean, each one of these are times where we sat together and I endlessly described my book collection. And you were like, uh-huh. And sometimes you were all like, memories, man. All right. Some have called Prismo a harbinger of the apocalypse, but I think that's unfair. She's a harbinger of good times. Just because she speaks in Latin in a whispery voice in her sleep. Sometimes her fur emits smoke. Stench of sulfur fills the air. And all anyone can think are the same words that Prismo keeps saying in that eerie voice. I keep glimpsing birds circling around the apartment building. Like a lot of them. I think it's unfair to say that she is like a bad luck or something. Or the, like, what did I say, the harbinger? She could be an omen of great things. Good stuff's coming, you know? Sammy knows what I'm talking about. He hasn't forgotten. VP, do you approve of this latest BookTube video? Speak up. Tell the public. They haven't heard from you in some time. What's happening? He's so cute. Pearl's always hidden back there now. See ya, Grindy. Alright, next time we'll look at this final shelf of the kids' chapter books case. There'll be a case here too. That's the hallway guarantee. I want my son to decorate all the doors. He has this really cool art thing he does where he like just draws, it's really interesting, like lines, and it's very geometric, mathematical. Like spider webs meets musical notation. That's wild. Yeah, well, you know, what's the point of this channel? What's the point of a book collection? What's the point of anything? These are things we should ask ourselves, but probably not get too discouraged by. The best answers are ultimately like Alan Watts, life is for living. Okay, these cats are amazing. Let's just say it, folks. Look at that. Mother and daughter right there. Alright. How is everybody? Is there a community around these videos at all? Are there people out there? Is anyone in it for the long haul and has been watching from the beginning? Is there a completist in the bunch anywhere? I just don't really see numbers go up on old videos. It seems like everything reaches a point and then just dies, like it's never in circulation. Which is weird to me because it seems to me like somebody should always be looking for like John Steinbeck. So what's up with that? I bet there's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like maybe I've been too casual mentioning like, you know, this book is about this or that or whatever. I haven't vetoed any words. I haven't looked up what words you're not supposed to say. I've like tried to speak more cautiously than I normally do because I'm always worried that students of mine from any time. I still work in education. You can see it. Anyway. Alright. What is this channel? Some booktube channels make a little more sense. They're like, best book for this kind of thing. And I'm like kind of refusing that. It's literally just an endless look at one person's book collection, section by section. What's the deal, you know? Okay, take care, everybody. Have a good one. All right.